Welcome to Murder with the Missus. I'm Darren.
And I'm Amy, and today we're going to tell you about Sean Daugherty.
Don't forget to smash that like button and go and check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and Facebook. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to tell your friends.
This one might be a little tough. It does involve a 12-year-old, and there will be talk of self-harm, so safety first. If this is not good for you today, we will see you on the next one. So let's get right into it. And I will say this is a case that has nothing further done on it, so the same information is reported everywhere. But that's why we're here, to keep the story out there. And most of this information comes from the Facebook page that is ran by Ramona. It's called What Happened to Sean. We are in Yorktown, Virginia. Sean was a 6th grader and had an older sister with 2 younger brothers. He loved to read, loved Marvel, and was a nice kid. His mom said sometimes he would take an extra lunch to school to give it to another student. He was smart, a bit of a rule follower. His mom, Ramona, and his stepdad, Jared, were both lieutenant colonels in the Air Force, I believe. I know that his mom was, but it's also been reported that the stepfather was as well. The family had just come back from a Disney cruise, and they had a great time. So much of a good time that they immediately booked another cruise to Alaska for August, and it was Disney too. So Ramona took Sean to renew his passport on April 12th of 2022. And I don't even have a passport, and this 12-year-old's out here renewing one. I need to get out more. Also, Ramona had just got a job at the Pentagon, so they were getting ready to move to DC, and Sean was super excited about that. They all were. So on Thursday, April 14th, Sean went to school. He got off the bus at 3:02 p.m., and the bus just drops him off 2 doors down in his neighborhood, so it was a short walk to get home. He's walking in the door as Ramona pulls up and his grandma comes out to get in the car.
That's a lot going on all at once.
Yeah, like everybody's coming and going all at the same time. It seems like grandma needed an EKG and the doctor called telling her to be there in 25 minutes. So she was at home babysitting the 2-year-old who was currently taking a nap. It just happened that they all came together at the right time so that Ramona could ask Sean to watch his little brother so that she could get grandma to that last-minute appointment. And Sean was excited to babysit. He had homework that had to be done, and apparently you have to take a picture of yourself holding up the homework and submit it to the school. And we know he did this at 3:09 p.m. So you know he did that shit on the bus. Ramona had talked to Jared, who was with their other son at his doctor's appointment. He mentioned that the 2-year-old had been asleep for almost 2 hours, so he needed to be woken up or he wouldn't sleep that night. So Ramona called Sean to tell him to wake the baby up, give him a snack, and maybe watch a movie with him downstairs. At this point, Sean was utilizing a quiet moment in the bathroom and was like, "I'm pooping, Mom, I got it." So they had a good laugh and she let him get back to it.
Man, man needs his time.
Apparently. But as Ramona thought about it, she remembered that she had given Sean permission to play Fortnite after school. So she called him again at 3:27 to tell him that instead, just bring the baby upstairs with him so he could still play. The iPad was on the charger upstairs, so he could just turn that on for the baby and keep him occupied. His 16-year-old sister, Maria, had a tennis match after school that day. After that, she hurried home because her boyfriend, AJ, and his mom, Jamie, were coming to pick her up at the house to take her with them to AJ's lacrosse game. But the front door was locked, so she knocked and rang the doorbell, but no one came to let her in. She called Ramona, who told her that Sean was home, but probably gaming, so just call him. She called him twice and texted him 3 times at 4:50 p.m. She didn't get a response, so she ran around the back of the house to check the back door, and that's when she stopped in her tracks. She saw a hooded figure in the backyard at the swing set and initially went to stranger danger. I need to get in this house before he gets to me. But she realizes that the figure wasn't facing her and it wasn't moving. She did a quick scan of the backyard for anything else that stood out, and she says she locked eyes with a landscaper mowing the neighbor's yard. He too was just standing there, looking confused.
What the fuck is happening right now?
It's an eerie scene, right?
Good Lord.
Yeah. Realizing that she wasn't alone now, she walked towards the figure on the swing set, saying hello as she got closer. She slowly started piecing together what she was seeing. Sean's small hands. They are discolored because there is a belt so tight around his stomach holding his arms down that his hands have changed colors.
Wait, so his arms were by his side and the belt is over them, holding him against his body?
Yes.
Okay.
So tight that it's discolored his hands. He is hanging from the swing set with a nylon bag over his head. He has a cord suspending him by the chin, not the neck.
What?
He is wearing clothes that are too big. His feet are bare, and his knees were only inches from the ground, which means his feet are on the ground, and his knees are bent. And this is what the family reports, but I was led to believe that he was suspended from the top railing of the swing, and that looks pretty tall.
Yeah.
Now, Sean looks kind of tall, but I don't know if he's that damn tall to where he could be literally hanging from there, but his knees almost touching the ground. Maybe I'm misinformed about where he was suspended from exactly, but otherwise that wouldn't make sense to be that close to the ground. But anyways, she lifted his body with one arm while she used the other to call 911 at 4:54 p.m. She removed him from his hanging position by using 3 fingers to pull the cord from around his chin, brought him down to the ground and did CPR for 6 minutes with assistance from the 911 operator, and then EMTs arrived and took over. Ramona pulled up to a bunch of first responding vehicles and made her way to the backyard. The EMTs used an AED on him to shock his heart, and so they had to remove that belt. And it was difficult. They note in the reports how difficult it was to remove this belt because of how tight it was. And it was buckled with the extra length tucked into the loop. But they had to get it off of him to be able to use the device. Ramona is trying to get into the yard and hears the EMTs yell, "Heartbeat." And then they rush out of the backyard and away in the ambulance.
They got a heartbeat. That's good.
Well, they would find out later that Sean had actually been gone for some time and there was no chance that he could have been revived. So that was just a fluke. Ramona rushed to find the 2-year-old. Like, everybody's worrying about Sean, but nobody's registering that the 2-year-old is not there. Where's he at? So Ramona, Maria, and a cop come in the back door and realize that it was unlocked. In the kitchen, she saw Sean's Crocs upside down next to 2 closed garbage bags on the floor, waiting to be taken out. You see, Sean's chore is the trash. So he had an alarm set on his phone at 3:30 every day to remind him to take the trash out. So it looks like he started it, but he didn't finish it. She rushed into the living room and saw 2 legs in the pile of laundry on a chair. She grabbed up the baby and he opened his eyes and started to cry. He was sweaty and not like his normal self. She unlocked the front door and ran out where the neighbor was nearby with a landscaper. Ramona yelled, asking if they saw what happened. What happened? Did you see what happened? The neighbor said no, but the landscaper said, "I don't know him who did it." And people have questioned what he meant by that. Is he saying that there was an unknown man there? But it sounds like maybe his English wasn't very good. It sounded to me like someone trying to translate what they're trying to say. She called Jared and told him what was going on, and he literally ran and grabbed their other son out of the doctor's office and headed to the house as fast as he could possibly get there. Ramona gets to the hospital and says there's a bunch of people around Sean's bed while they work on him. And then, like in a movie, the crowd parted and the doctor walked toward her and she knew he was gone. She did get to see him one last time and noticed some strange things. She saw blood on his hand in between his 4th and 5th fingers, so she took a picture of that. But the most alarming thing is that he was wearing Jared's clothes. And that is why Maria was having such a hard time figuring out what she was looking at. He had on Jared's dress shirt, pants, even his underwear. At the hospital, he didn't have the pants on, but they were described to the family and they sounded like they had to be Jared's too.
What the fuck?
I know, right? Back at the house, AJ and Jamie, remember the boyfriend and his mom, showed up to pick up Maria. So when they get there and see all this is going on, they stay there with Maria and the rest of the family, well, the grandma, I guess, and the baby. A female neighbor kept trying to talk to Maria, but was acting skittish, so she was asked to leave. I didn't see anywhere that they went back and talked to her. They said she seemed well-intentioned, but for some reason was only trying to talk to Maria and kept walking away and coming back. Jared said one of the first arriving officers called in the investigative team, and he told Jared, "This doesn't sit right with me. I don't think your son did this to himself."
Well, no shit. His arms were bound to his body.
Yeah.
You can't do that yourself.
Right. Now, since this house is a crime scene, the family goes to a hotel. Ramona asked the 2-year-old what happened. What did he see? He says that one of Sean's friends was chasing Sean around and punching him. Keep that in mind. But by midnight, The investigation was done, and the family was allowed access to the house. So they go. And here's what was weird at the house. They found a jarred, uneaten peach in a bowl on the counter. They say this was Sean's favorite after-school snack. So they think that he got that out. Then maybe his 3:30 alarm went off to take out the trash. So that would be why there were 2 trash bags of trash in the kitchen with his upside-down Crocs next to them. But something happened and he didn't get to take the trash out. Ramona always buys trash bags from Costco and they have red handles. But also in the kitchen floor were 2 ripped up trash bags with blue handles. They noticed on the glass of the back door that there was a handprint, a grown man's handprint. They go upstairs and immediately notice how hot it is. The thermostat is set to 85 degrees. And then they find Sean's underwear on the parents' bedroom floor. And all of Jared's dresser drawers are open. So they call the police back out there. Why was all this stuff left? Like, why? Also, he had to wear glasses to see, not just to read or not for stylish reasons to be cute. He had to have them to see. The frames of his glasses were outside near where Sean was found, and one of the lenses was missing and never found. Also, the shirt and shorts that Sean was actually wearing that day were never found.
So it looks like they ruled it a suicide and didn't investigate. This is one of those cases, isn't it?
This is one of those cases, yes, sir. Yeah. The EMT report shows law enforcement responded to a residence for a suicide. So it's another one that the conclusion was made immediately and nothing was looked into. The ER doctor notes shows a history of suicidal ideations. Where the hell did they get that from? Not from the family.
Exactly.
Sean had never talked about taking his own life.
But, I mean, how could they rule a suicide when a person's hands are bonded together?
So I've seen...
And you're hanging.
Right.
I mean, especially the way his was bonded together.
Well, okay, so that's another thing.
If they was taped...
They were not taped.
A person can tape their hands together.
They definitely were not taped.
But with his, you had to pull the belt tight. With one hand.
Put the little thing in.
So you're saying that he did that and then jimmied his hand back in there while he was hanging? Somebody
has a theory, yes, that has been a theory raised online, is that he did the belt and then put his arms in, but that would have caused bruising on his arms.
Yeah. You would have seen like scrapes.
You would have seen it probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember, you got to remember, there's nothing out on this case. I can't read case documents. There's none. So some have reported that his arms were by his sides, like straight down by his sides. But others have said that they were behind his back and tucked into the pants. But either way, that belt was around them. So if they were behind his back and tucked into his pants, that's even worse.
Yeah.
But either way, it doesn't change the fact that he could not have done that.
It's like, but how do you rule it a suicide?
Because he was hanging. That's all they need. Done and done. Even though he could have stood right up. But the cops came back out to the house and the family made them take Sean's underwear and lift the print from the back glass. A few weeks later, the lead investigator told them that they did get good prints from that handprint, but they didn't have a match in the system. Fast forward a month later, they came back for more prints. And the family was told there weren't any good prints lifted for that handprint, so there was nothing viable to test. Well, which one is it? Ramona had said publicly that local police told her multiple times that they did not know how to investigate something like this.
Oh, wow. Shocking.
I know. But the family was not happy that nothing was being done. Hell, the day after this happened, investigators told the family not to talk about the incident with anyone. One even called Jamie, AJ's mom, and told her the same thing. But at that point, the only person told was the school counselor when Jamie called them that morning to tell them that AJ and Maria would not be at school. Investigators told Jamie that they were getting a bunch of calls and it was keeping them from doing their job. Who is calling? People that the family is telling or the community who heard the rumors that a 12-year-old was found deceased in his backyard? Come on now. Sean did have one mark on his neck, one small mark, not like you would see from a hanging. The family says that his brother who was at the doctor that day is autistic and he is known to grab necks. And the family believes that that is where this mark came from. There were some boots in the garage that looked like someone had tried to unlace them but gave up. The nylon bag that was over Sean's head came from that garage. There were 2 motorcycle helmet bags in there. One of those bags is what was used. The cord that he was suspended by was actually from that second helmet bag in the garage. Weird, right? The family pointed out that they are a military family. They have a bunch of bags, paracord, all kinds of things. In the garage, inside the house, he had several bags in his room. Why go out to the garage? Why try to get a shoelace, give up, and then take the string from a helmet bag?
They said the family life was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about school?
Okay, so he did have friends. He was on surveillance at the school that day with a friend goofing around a little, looking happy in the hallway. Police said, they wanted to know about bullying. And the family said that in December, Sean did have 3 girls bully him a little bit, but it was addressed and not an issue after that. They didn't know of any other issues. Ramona put out a picture and a candle under a tree in the front yard, and neighbors would add things to show support. And the family did get a security camera, several, after this, so you can see that someone visited this memorial a couple of times. Ramona and Jared did go around to the neighbors asking for their camera footage when they found out that the police did not. A few neighbors posted in the HOA Facebook asking people to check for any videos. The page received a still screenshot from a house showing a landscaper's truck in front of Sean's house at 4:36 p.m., which would be 13 minutes before Maria got home. The full video was requested several times, but no one was able to get that footage. I didn't see anything saying that Maria mentioned a landscaper's truck being in front of their house when she got home. And we know that the neighbor had a landscaper. So was that them? Or was this a different truck? There's not a lot of explanation on that.
I would need to know.
I would definitely need to know.
Yeah.
Was this the guy who knows him not? Or however he said that? Or is this a different guy? And then suddenly they saw a small stain on the wall. Kind of a thing where you can't remember if it was there before or not because it's like a small dot. So they take a picture of it and post it online because they can't get the cops to do anything or tell them anything. They're feeling like they have no options. And then Major Ron Montgomery with the sheriff's office posts a snarky video to address everything. He says, there may be concern with the community that there may be a killer in the area. Nothing could be further from the truth. He mentions the Facebook page, saying much of the information there is opinion, innuendo, and fabrication. He says Ramona lied. They never told her that they don't know how to investigate cases like this. They do it all the time. They are competent. He talked about the stain, showing the crime scene photo of that wall, and there was no stain. Great. Thanks for clarifying that you actually took pictures, because remember, they're not telling the family shit. Remember that the family knows nothing at this point. He says that Sean's DNA was the only DNA on the cord that was around his chin, particularly on the knot. I mean, he didn't say chin, I'm saying it. Particularly on the knot. So I guess Maria didn't leave anything behind when she removed it from him. Interesting. And basically, this was just a big clapback video telling people not to listen to the family. Everything's fine. No foul play.
And it seems about right that instead of, updating the family, let's just do a video and be a dick about it.
And that's exactly why. If you watch this video, you'd be like, fuck you.
I mean, it's just, they didn't investigate it.
No.
They went in.
Bare minimum. And they seen this and was like, oh, suicide. Open, shut. They never even questioned why he's wearing Jared's clothes.
And it's like they had to be called back out to get fingerprints.
We see that
to
a
get
lot.
This, to get that. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Was Laura and Ashley?
Yeah, Laura and Ashley from Welch, Oklahoma.
Yeah. Those cops were called out 4 different times.
The first time they had to be called back out was because someone stepped on a body they missed.
The dad that they was blaming that took the girls.
See?
And everything.
This is the problem.
And that's what I'm saying. You're here, the cops, police officers are here to investigate, to keep peace, to help.
To get criminals off the streets if somebody murdered a 12-year-old in his backyard.
And now it's just like, what's the easiest way out of this? What can we do to not drag this along?
What's the minimum amount of work we need to put in to look like we give a shit?
How can I collect my check?
When's payday? That's what I need to know.
Yeah.
And we're not talking shit on all cops. I know we do a lot.
No,
but
and this whole thing.
This kind of shit needs to be called out.
But we do talk shit on police officers that don't do their fucking job.
That's right.
There are lots of police officers out there that are great, that do their job.
100%.
That are out there because they actually believe in what they do.
Yes.
But then there's other cops out there that are here for the badge.
Here for that
so
check.
They can grow their fucking head a little bit bigger.
Yep.
And so they think they can throw their shit around and bully people and everything else because they have that badge. So they think they're untouchable.
True.
Do your fucking job.
Just do your job.
Investigate it.
If I don't do my job, I get fired.
Because if you're working on this, there was one case we did, even after he retired, he was still a part of the investigation.
Yeah, they want to see it through, yeah.
And it's still not closed. And he still is there for updates and everything else, still trying to do it. Like he basically started his own little private eye deal.
Yeah.
And everything. I mean, that's a good cop. That's what we need. That's
care
what
about what they do. Yeah.
We say it all the damn time. There's just a lot of them that are just basically there for a fucking check and they don't give a shit. Yeah. They just want it in and out. They just want to get in there and get out of there. Oh, yep, suicide. Let's roll on.
Yep. So I can't blame the family for calling them out because it's the only way they're actually getting a response. And if I have to be an asshole to get it, well, here I come.
I would be the biggest asshole.
Yeah. Give me a snarky video. It's the only way I'm getting information.
And trust me, if I was the cop and I was investigating the death of a guy's son and the father of that son worked at the Pentagon.
Yeah, he's in the Air Force.
But he just accepted a job at the Pentagon.
The mom, Ramona.
Oh, the mom. Well, either way.
Yeah, either way.
Either fucking way.
Yeah.
If somebody worked at the fucking Pentagon, I'm going to do every fucking thing I can to get some kind of fucking answers.
You're damn right.
I am not going to fucking sit there and just brush it off and be like, oh, it's a suicide, so we're done. I am going to do every fucking thing I can because you know what? Those are the people you want on your side.
That's true. You'd think. So, like I've said, they have still left this case open. They left it as an active investigation, and that way they don't have to release any documents. The family tried FOIA requests and were denied. They were told in December of 2022 that the FBI brought in a behavioral unit task force to analyze Sean's behavior on his phone and that they would have access to their findings when they were done. They never got that report. And then in a post from April of this year, it said, the family was given access to case files, results. They are working with a law firm and team of investigators. Nothing has really been posted since then except for his birthday post a couple of days ago. A local news station reported in May that the police officially closed the case and this investigation. Okay, investigation. If they are public, I haven't seen them, but I do still have a lot of questions. Hopefully the family's getting some answers, but I've got questions. Number one is that belt. Like the bag would have had to already been over his head. The cord would have had to already been around his neck. And even if he did all that, how the hell did he tighten it? And then tell me where his clothes and glass lens went. The glass lens is weird. The clothes is weird. Where did they go? You can see him. Remember, he took a picture of himself turning in his homework. He's wearing that shirt, those shorts that he wore that day. Where did they go?
Yeah.
Why was he dressed like his stepdad? Why is he watching his 2-year-old brother making a snack, taking out the trash, and then he just decides, fuck it, it's over? Where did the blue-handled trash bags come from? Where'd the blood on his hand come from? They said he hated to be without shoes. Same. So why would he walk across the yard without shoes on? And why were his feet so clean after he did? Why was his brother buried in the laundry? And why did he say someone was chasing and punching Sean? That's pretty random. Why go out to the garage, try to untie a boot and give up? Then take a drawstring from a motorcycle helmet, but then take the other motorcycle helmet bag instead of the one you just pulled the drawstring out of. And there's a lot of theories on this one, but one has to do with Ramona and Jared's jobs, like you were saying. She was about to go to work at the Pentagon, so some see this as an issue. Some speculate that since Sean was in his stepdad's clothes, that this was some type of threat to him, like some kind of symbolism. This could be you kind of thing. Or stop investigating whatever you're looking into. Just a bunch of shit flying around out there. And there's actually a lot more people saying that this was a suicide than I ever thought there would be, considering that belt.
And that's crazy because I just don't, with the belt, I just don't see how, because that's making it to where you're binding,
you're bound.
You're bound.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody was binding his hands to where he couldn't move them.
Yeah. And there's no sign of a struggle anywhere.
Yeah.
There's no sign of struggle on his body.
I don't know. Maybe
What happened?
maybe this needs to go to the feds.
All the way to the top.
Yep.
Well, they brought in a special task force to look at his behavior on his phone, but nobody ever said anything about
Yeah, but I think they
what they
need
got.
to really get in there and look at it and come to their conclusion.
Answers.
You know, we just look at this and kind of give our opinions and everything because, you know, you read the stories, you bring them and everything else, and then we give you our opinion. And to us, this is just bad investigating.
That's not right.
Yeah.
There's so many unanswered questions.
And
so little was done.
And there's still somebody out there that could do it again.
Yeah. That's the thing I don't understand. If you close this out, that means you're not looking for an actual murderer if there was one.
Yep.
You should be able to rule that out right off the bat. That should be the first thing you do.
Yep. So, you know, instead of making videos being a dick, you know,
So bad.
go out and do your job.
So if you have any tips on this case, please call 804-905-8613.
All right. Well, that's it for this one. Guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Make sure you guys tell everybody. We need subscribers. We need people. We need to grow our podcast.
Spread this word. Spread the word.
If you want to sponsor us and get a spot on here to where we do it, we will. Till next time.
Bye.